We know that not everyone is in this prosperity, and Donald Trump just sits in the White House and gloats about what's going on when you have so many people that are having trouble affording college and having trouble affording their premiums. So I do get concerned about paying for college for rich kids. I do. But I think my plan is a good one. And my plan would be to, first of all, make community college free. And make sure that everyone else besides that top percentile gets help with their education. My own dad and my sister got their first degrees from community college. There's many paths to success.
Yeah, they probably paid for it themselves. It's called a associate
I doubled them from $6,000 to $12,000 a year and expanded to the number of families that get covered, to families that make up to $100,000. And then the third thing I would do is make it easier for students to pay off their student loans. Because I can tell you this, if billionaires can pay off their yachts, students should be able to pay off their student loans.
That's time. All right.
Congressman O'Rourke.
Wow.
What we've just been discussing and talking about
going on paying off student loans,
the economy is desirable.
Yeah, so we're going to be listening. They can hear us. We don't know. This is part 1 of 2. They have so many Democratic people, they can't have them all on one night. You know, they got to break it up into a 2-part series.
Look at those guys. So what she's running on, I'm going to pay off and make it easier. Everybody should have education. Throw a little socialism in there, people. Just remember this. Remember old Karl Marx tried to teach them people. It didn't happen. It didn't go too well. See what this guy's yabbering about.
Queremos hacer eso. Necesitamos incluir cada persona en nuestra democracia. Cada votante necesitamos la representación y cada voz necesitamos escuchar. Right now, we have a system that favors those who can pay for access and outcomes. That's how you explain an economy that is rigged to corporations and to the very wealthiest. A $2 trillion tax cut that favored corporations while they were sitting on record piles of cash, and the very wealthiest in this country at a time of historic wealth inequality. A new democracy that is revived.
I don't know that
because we
historic
return power
wealth
to the people.
inequality.
No PACs, no gerrymandering, automatic and same-day voter registration to bring in more voters, and a new Voting Rights Act to get rid of the barriers that are in place now. That's how we each have a voice in our
Voting
democracy.
Rights Act, yeah. He doesn't want, he wants everybody to go in there, illegal voting. That's what he wants.
To answer, if you want to answer the direct question, would you support a 70% individual marginal tax rate? Yes, no, or pass?
You're not asking the question.
A tax rate and a tax code that is fair to everyone. Tax capital
70%?
At the same rate that you tax ordinary income. Take that corporate
Answer the
tax
question,
rate up to
sir.
28%. You would generate the revenues you need to pay for the programs we're talking
Answer the
about.
question, sir. All right, I'm going to try a few things
Senator
here, folks.
Booker, there is a debate in this party right now about the role of corporations, as you know. Senator Warren, in particular, put out a plan to break up tech companies like Facebook, Amazon, and Google. You've said we should not, quote, be running around pointing at companies and breaking them up without any kind of process. Why do you disagree?
I don't think I disagree. I think we have a serious problem in our country with corporate consolidation. And you see the evidence of that in how dignity is being stripped from labor. And we have people that work full-time jobs and still can't make a living wage. We see that because consumer prices are being raised by pharmaceutical companies that often have monopolistic holds on drugs. And you see that by just the fact that this is actually an economy that's hurting small businesses and not allowing them to compete. One of the most aggressive bills in the Senate to deal with corporate consolidation is mine about corporate consolidation in the ag sector. So I feel very strongly about the need to check the corporate consolidation and let the free market work. And I'll tell you this,
I
live in a low-income black and brown community. I see every single day that this economy is not working for average Americans.
These people don't live in the ghetto unless they're like it's for show.
To Wall Street's
we saw Obama do that in the high rises.
In my community. It is about time that we have an economy that works for everybody, not just the wealthiest in our nation.
Look, they're all pandering to their certain racial sector of whoever they represent.
Briefly, why is that?
Well, again, I will single out companies like Halliburton or Amazon that pay nothing in taxes and our need to change that. And when it comes to antitrust law, what I will do is, number one, appoint judges that will enforce it. Number two, have a DOJ and a Federal Trade Commission that will go through the processes necessary to check this kind of corporate concentration. At the end of the day, we have too much of a problem with corporate power growing. We see that with everything from Citizens United and the way they're trying to influence Washington. It's about time that we have a president that fights for the people in this country who need to have someone that's a champion for them.
Thank you, Senator.
What do you think Trump's doing? He's bringing the corporations overseas back home.
So the way I understand this is there is way too much consolidation now in giant industries in this country.
She's going for the Native American vote. Look out.
Independent farmers. It hurts our economy overall, and it helps constrict real innovation and growth in this economy. Now, look, we've had the laws out there for a long time to be able to fight back. What's been missing is courage.
How come we're not talking about the farm bill proposed?
To take on the giants. That's part of the corruption in this system.
A lot of those guys are paid by those giants. I don't understand it. This is crazy. Crazy talking to these people.
Have been funding the super PACs, have been out there making sure that their influence is heard and felt in every single decision that gets made in Washington. Where I want to start this is I want to return government to the people, and that means calling out the names of the monopolists and saying I have the courage to go after them.
Thank you.
I think we're already doing that. I think that's how we know about antitrust laws.
Democrats have been talking about the pay gap for decades. What would you do to ensure that women are paid fairly in this country?
Thank you very much for that question.
What about the hours gap there, dude? That makes up the wage gap. What's
my brother Joaquin and me as a single parent.
Okay,
I know what it's like to struggle. I know what
single mother act.
To rent a home and to worry about whether you're going to be able to pay the rent at the first of the month, and to see a mom work very, very hard and know that moms across this country are getting paid less simply
What
because
about
they're women.
dads?
I would do several
There
things,
we
starting with something we
go.
should have done a long time ago, which is to pass the Equal Rights Amendment finally in this country. And also pursue legislation so that women are paid equal pay for equal work in this country. It's past time that we did that. And, you know,
That's
we
a
have to do this.
fallacy.
If we
What
want
about
to be
you guys
equal?
go
the
check it
prosperous
out.
nation in the 21st
Yes,
century,
that's looking
we need
awesome,
to make sure
brother.
that women are paid what they deserve.
All right, thank you. I want to put the
is
same
something
question to
new
Congresswoman Gabbard. Your
for the
thoughts on
Patriots.
equal pay.
Yeah, well, first of all, let's recognize the situation we're in, that the American people deserve a president who will put your interests ahead of the rich and powerful. That's not what we have right now. I enlisted in the Army National Guard after the al-Qaeda terror attacks on 9/11, so I could go after those who had attacked us on that day. I still serve as a major. Served over 16 years, deployed twice to the Middle East.
Pulling in,
and in Congress,
she's pulling the old
served on the
9/11
Foreign
strings
Affairs and
on
Armed
that one.
Services committees for over
Careful,
6 years.
folks.
I know the importance of our
Nice,
national
brother.
security, as well as the terribly high cost of war. And for too long, our leaders have failed us, taking us from one regime change war to the next, leading us into a new Cold War and arms race, costing us trillions
Didn't Trump
of
just
our hard-earned
narrowly
taxpayer
avert
dollars
war
and
with Iran
countless
right now? And she's
lives.
saying these
This
warmongers.
insanity must end. As president, I will take your
She's
hard-earned
insane.
taxpayer dollars and instead invest those dollars into serving your needs. Things like health care, a green economy, good-paying jobs, protecting our environment, and so much more.
Sorry, guys.
What about infrastructure?
Mayor,
They don't say that stuff. I like that, brother.
You're
That's
the
looking
mayor
awesome.
of the biggest city in the United States, but it's also one of the cities in the country with the greatest gap between the wealthy and the poor. How would you address income inequality?
I'm looking at it.
Well, we've been addressing income inequality in New York
That's
City
looking
by
good.
raising wages, by raising benefits, by putting money back in the hands of working people.
What about New York
$15
State?
minimum
What about
wage,
the good
paid
Patriots
sick
down
days,
there?
Pre-K for all, things that are making a huge difference in working people's lives. But let me tell you, what we're hearing here already in the first round of questions is that battle for the heart and soul of our party. I want to make it clear. This is supposed to be the party of working people. Yes, we're supposed to be for a 70% tax rate on the wealthy. Yes, we're supposed to be for free college, free public college for our young people.
Socialism,
we are supposed
socialism.
to break up big corporations when they're not serving our democracy. This Democratic
I would
Party
agree.
has to
I would
be
agree.
strong and bold and progressive. And in New York, we've proven that we can do something very different. We can put money back in the hands of working
We
people.
can
And let
kill
me tell you,
babies
every
at
time
the
you
third
talk about investing
trimester every
in
single
people in their
time.
communities, you hear folks say there's not. I say to them every single time is there's plenty of money in this world. There's plenty of money in this country. It's just in the wrong hands.
Money? What are you talking about? Plenty of money.
Congressman Delaney, do you agree?
I think we need to do real things to help American workers and the American people, right? This is the issue that all of us here on the campaign trail. We need to make sure everyone has a living wage. And I've called for a doubling of the earned income tax credit, raising the minimum wage, and creating paid family leave. That will create a situation where people actually have a living wage. That gets right to workers. Then we got to fix our public education system. It's not delivering the results our kids need, nor is college and post-high school career and technical training programs.
What about that
doing
No Child Left
I'm very
Behind?
different than everyone else here
Some
on the
child
stage.
need
Prior
to
to being in
repeat
Congress,
some
I was
grades.
an entrepreneur. I started 2 businesses. I created thousands of jobs. I spent my
dude,
whole
come on.
career
Come on,
helping
you can't be
small to
topping
mid-sized
Trump now,
businesses
dude.
all over the country. 5,000 of them I supported. The
This
Obama
guy,
administration
come on,
gave
you
me
can't
an
go off
award
that
for
platform,
lending
buddy.
to disadvantaged communities. I know how to create jobs. We need a short-term strategy, which is to put money in the pockets of workers with the earned income tax credit, raising the minimum wage and created paid family leave. And then we need to have a long-term strategy to make sure this country is competitive and we're creating jobs everywhere in this country.
Governor Inslee,
What about
how would you
tariffs?
address
I don't know
income
if we're talking about that.
Well, I'm a little bit surprised. I think plans are great, but I'm a governor, and we got to realize the people who brought us the weekend.
I'm already part of the deep state, see?
The left hand of Satan tomorrow, the right hand.
And I'm proud of standing up for unions. I've got a plan to reinvigorate collective bargaining.
Yeah, he's going to start looking, shaking them hands.
It is not right that the CEO of McDonald's makes
I agree with you, Dave Hicks. Not every kid needs to go to college.
Hash at McDonald's.
I mean, I think
The next thing I'll do is
college
put
should be
people to
something that
work
you have to
in
pay
the
and work
jobs
hard
of
for.
the present and the
You know,
future.
after you graduate high school,
Donald Trump is
work a
simply
job or you
wrong.
go work your
He
ass off to
says
go to college.
wind turbines cause cancer We know they cause jobs. And we know that we can put millions of people to work in the clean energy jobs of the future. Carpenters,
well, he's determined.
IBEW's members, machinists. We're doing it in my state today. And then we can do what America
This is a 2-hour thing
does.
tonight, 9 to 11, and then tomorrow night, 9 to 11.
That's what we're going to do.
So if you guys like it tonight, we can do it tomorrow. If not, whatever.
Yeah, just remember, I mean, we can only take too much of this propaganda craziness, because you can see, we're just curious to see what platform these crazy folks are going to try to stand on. I mean, what do you have after our great president has done so much?
Yeah, we don't need to sit here and listen to it all. I'm actually having issues with getting this to like go there, okay? And then I want to do that, and then I want to do that.
Get out of there, you. He's like, I am lying to you, and then I'm going to do it again. And then what I'll have to do is I'll have to make sure that my lies are cohesive with my handlers. Oh, so I thought we're just lip syncing.
There we go.
Yeah, this is crazy. It's crazy. They're saying things are almost in 180-degree different direction than what's currently happening right now. Like, there's nobody's talking about the border. Nobody's talking about immigration. It's crazy. It's like, I don't know. I just want to say this guy's like, I'm going to do some more lying and then make sure my handler says I'm okay to keep on doing what I'm doing. And
I want to dominate the solar industry.
Thank you.
Manufacture those here.
Senator Warren, are they coming back?
Nice.
So we've had an industrial policy in the United States for decades now, and it's basically been let giant corporations do whatever they want to do. Giant corporations
keep on saying
have exactly
giant
one
corporations.
loyalty, and that is to profits. And if they can save a nickel by moving a job to Mexico or to Asia or to Canada, they're going to do it. So here's what I propose for an industrial policy. Start with a place where there's a real need. There's going to be a worldwide need for green technology, ways to clean up the air, ways to clean up the water. And
we already have it. It's been here since Tesla, chick.
We need to go tenfold in our research and development on
Nikola
green
Tesla.
energy going forward. And then we need to say, any corporation can come and use that research. They can make all kinds of products from it. But
So
they
they're
have
getting
to
back
be
on the old
manufactured
green
right
tip.
here in the United
That
States
sounds just
of
like
America.
what Obama did and gave.
They've all been here for 40
hundreds
years.
of. Yes. It's like what Obama did for like all these different green companies. He gave them literally hundreds and millions of dollars in subsidies, like that solar panel company in California, and within months later they go bankrupt and they're all said and done. Everybody goes off in their golden parachutes.
Yes.
So we've seen this happen before. I mean, solar power. We need to get back into it. I can go to cheap hardware store and buy a solar panel, put it in, and it works.
Yeah.
It works.
What's up, Fluid Poor Art by Greg?
Senator Clover,
Yeah, what's up, dude?
You're one of the Democrats who wants to keep.
We're watching the
Did we just get
propaganda.
a super chat? Is that how that shows up in here? I saw like a weird.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome.
Let me see.
It's super chats in the brackets, I think.
It's something that Barack Obama wanted to do when we were working on the Affordable Care Act, and that is a public option.
Ooh.
I am just simply concerned about kicking half of America off of their health insurance in 4 years, which is exactly what this bill says.
Well, more than half of America didn't want it. That's kind of how it works.
In addition to that, and that is
more
pharmaceuticals. The president literally went on TV, on Fox, and said that people's heads would spin when they see how much he would bring down pharmaceutical prices. Instead, 2,500 drugs have gone up in double.
Yeah, but you guys said that the world would end if he won, that the world, the sky would fall, the stock market would crash, we'd be in World War III.
And by the way, all of those pharmaceuticals she's talking about,
there would be riots, and they were right on that, but it was them
because
that did
they
it.
were the ones. Yeah, well,
They
check
just
us out.
failed
Hold on,
to tell
check it
us
out.
it would be them who did it.
The tell. The particular pharmaceuticals she's talking about that have been gone up in prices, just are coming from foreign countries that our great commander-in-chief has raised the tariffs because they've been suckling at the American tit. So yes, I would agree with you. There are some pharmaceuticals right now in the pharmaceutical market that are a lot more expensive because our commander-in-chief's got our interest in mind. Yeah. So are they coming down? Well, it's yet
to be let's write books on what he hasn't done.
Healthcare,
Well, it's only been 2
medical
years.
bills.
2
And
and a
that's
half.
not just for people who don't have insurance. It's for people who have insurance. Look at the business model of an insurance company.
Is that kind of low, you guys?
It's to bring in as many dollars
I like
as
that.
they
No, that's
can
cool.
in
That's cool. I like
premiums
that. You can
and to
see
pay
4 or
out
5 at a
as few
time. That's
dollars
perfect.
as possible for your health care. That leaves families with rising premiums.
Look at here,
rising
Sue Eason.
co-pays,
We're going to
and
be gabbing
fighting
over
with
these
insurance
propagandists.
companies to try to
They're
get
just
the
spewing
health
lies, and
care
we're
that
trying
the
to let
doctors
you
say
know which
they
one
and
lies.
their children
You gotta
need.
know thy enemy.
Medicare for all solves that problem.
And if you want to see a live stream, go to
understand.
some other channel that just does this and suckles the tit of propaganda.
Yeah, if you guys are trying to listen to the whole thing all quiet and eat your popcorn, I understand, but you're going to have to go to CNN. They got it going on, I think.
Well, healthcare is a basic
Yeah.
human
This
right.
is not for
and I
that.
will fight for basic human rights. That
Like, she'll fight for basic human rights.
We're calling this the biggest loser battle. And that's the name of the title, the biggest loser.
This year, you're saying you're no longer sure.
Come on now.
Because whoever goes to the end is going to spend the most money and they're going to lose, so therefore they're the biggest
well
loser.
enough to live to their full potential.
I'm surprised this
They
guy
have
doesn't
healthcare.
answer each
In
question
Laredo, Texas.
speaking in Spanish and then switching to English like he's trying to get that old.
For those of you
the
that
old,
didn't understand what I
illegal
said, there'll be a
immigrant.
translator later on available for the replay.
Told untreated because he doesn't have
Hell yeah.
health care, he'll be dead before the age of 40. So getting to guaranteed, high-quality, universal health care as quickly and surely as possible has to be our goal. The ability to afford
Well,
your
that's
prescriptions and go
socialism.
to a primary
Healthcare
care
for all.
provider.
Doesn't that happen in
The
Canada?
ability to see a mental health care provider.
It's just a fraction of it,
The
Ben.
single
Calm down.
largest provider of mental health care services is the county jail system today.
It's just a
And
smidget.
healthcare also
The
has
county
smidgen
jails,
that
oh my
every
God,
woman can make
they're
her
surrounded
own
by
decisions
private
about her
jails.
own body and has access to the care that makes that possible.
Okay, so
says
he's
that if
now
you're
saying
uninsured,
that they're
we
going
enroll
to go
you in
into the
Medicare.
abortion
If
thing.
you're
So
insufficiently insured, you can't afford your premiums, we enroll you in Medicare. But if you're a member of a union that negotiated for a health care plan that you like because it works for you
time is up.
and your family, you're
Time's
able to
up,
keep
buddy.
it. We preserve
Time's up.
choice.
That's it. No more.
time's
I'll
up,
shut you down.
union.
See?
You get there, union
See?
talk there.
See?
Some good.
Give you 10 seconds. Would you replace
Yes.
private insurance?
No, I think the choice is fundamental to our ability to get everybody cared for.
Private insurance
Whoa,
is
whoa,
not
whoa,
working
he
for
can't-
tens
this
of
is
millions
not
of
Who's this
fair.
guy?
When you talk about
Who's
the
this guy?
co-pays, the deductibles, the
Whoa,
premiums,
gay.
the out-of-pocket expenses,
Hey,
it's
gay.
not working.
Well, that will hush that disco jive.
They can choose Medicare. For the culinary workers in
you
Nevada
gotta
who I
start by
listen to,
acknowledging
who
the system
negotiated
is
for
not
those
working
plans,
for people.
they're able to keep them.
Why are
You're
you
going off
comparing
script,
insurance
Congressman.
savings?
Congressman.
Congressman,
by the
I'm
way,
trying to have a
should be
little flame up here, like Trump created in the Republican Party. So let me do my thing. It's not working. We see through it all. It's all lies.
Give everyone in this country
Look at
health care
this.
as a basic human right for free. Full stop. But we should also give them the option to buy private insurance. Why do we have to stand for taking away something?
No, you don't understand. Universal health care. You don't have private insurance. That's what happens in Canada.
That was this guy was just
It's
saying.
called socialism.
How would it have been for you
Yeah.
last year if every one of your bills were paid at the Medicare rate? Every single hospital administrator said they would close. And the Medicare for All bill requires payments to stay at current Medicare
Yes.
rates. So to some extent, we're basically supporting a bill that will have every hospital close. I mean, my dad was a union electrician. Right, I actually grew up in a working-class family.
Okay,
He
so we'll
loved
call
the
him
health care
Sparky.
that the IBEW gave him. And I just always think
Oh,
about
yeah.
my dad and anything I would do from a policy perspective. He'd look at me and he'd say,
Hey,
"Good
the
job,
IBEW
John,
is
for
a
getting
great
healthcare
great
for
union,
everyone."
man.
Why
But
are
I
you
mean,
taking
you know,
my
are they
health care?
with this guy?
He
Probably
He'd look
not.
at me and he'd say, "Why
Congressman
did
Gabbard,
I have
why
you,
weigh in
son?"
here?
I think we're talking about this in the wrong way. You're talking about one bill over another bill.
Oh,
really,
oh,
what we're
oh,
talking
okay.
about is
How are we
our
talking about? You
objective,
let us know.
Making sure that every single sick American in this country is able to get the health care that they need.
I thought she was going to say
believe
something like that.
Medicare
Number one
for
thing is
all
we just
is
need
the
to
way
get Trump
do
out of
that.
office.
I also think that
Crowd
employers
goes
will
wild.
recognize.
Have they panned into the crowd yet, folks? Have I missed anything? How many people are here? What showed up?
Well, we don't know. It's
250.
probably full because highly paid people is sitting in the pews there.
Yeah, they made sure that they flew people in for this.
Healthcare that they
Reject
need.
this garbage.
I also
I
think
rebuke
if
this
you look
garbage.
at other countries in the world who have universal health care, every one of them has some form of a role of private insurance. I think that's what we've got to look at, taking the best of these ideas, but making sure unequivocally that no sick American goes without getting the care that they need, regardless of how much or little money they have in their pocket.
There's so many of
Let
them.
me turn to Senator Booker on this. Senator Booker, explain to me where you are. This is hugely important to
No
people.
elbow.
Come on, Bathhouse
Standing
Booker.
room
Let us
only.
know how it goes.
Of course the place is packed. There's 25 of them. That's why they
The
did this.
DNC got big money. They got the
We
big
could all
super
pull
PACs.
in. I'm good for 100 people. How about you? You know, it's like, oh, we all got 100.
I
Well,
got
that's
150.
2,500
I got a lot of
right there.
contributors.
It's even a retirement issue because in my community, African Americans have a lower life expectancy because of poorer health care. And so where I stand is
whoa, he's bringing the lower life expectancy. Is
And
you think it's because of the habits of inner? I mean, dude, come on now. They're bringing up such skewed things. Wow.
We have to do the things immediately that are going to provide better care. And on this debate, I'm sorry, there are too many people profiteering off of the pain of people in America, from pharmaceutical companies to insurers. Literally, the overhead for insurers that they charge is 15%, while Medicare's overhead is only at 2%.
Man, they're back to just talking the same old junk.
Same thing. Oh my gosh, they're
well,
trying
I
to
mean,
spin numbers for. Well, on Obamacare, you were getting charged more than you were paying out a year if you just ate healthy, and you know didn't
for 20 years, folks. 50, 30.
yeah. This is insanity. By the way, all you guys are awesome. I mean, I've seen 920 of you guys watching with us right now. I mean, it's super awesome. I mean, it's amazing. You know, we definitely like to hear. Mike and I were talking in Garage Talk. Yeah, it's almost like, hey, we want to know what platform they're going to be standing on. Because
these people are running for president.
Yes. You know how the drill goes.
We got to see how they're what they're trying to say. You know, we're going to take America back 10 steps. That's what's best
for any insurance company to deny women coverage for their exercise of their right of choice. And I am the only candidate here who has passed a law protecting a woman's right to reproductive health and health insurance. And I'm the only candidate who has passed a public option. And I respect
that says we can kill babies. Nobody else can do that.
Candidate that's actually advanced the ball.
I brought that for you.
On total genocide of our children. Total. Do you hear me? Whoa. I too want to get a part of that. Hold on. Time out.
Me. I just want to say there's three women up here that have fought pretty hard for
I kill babies too now. Hey, stop that. Hey, now. Hey, you stop that. We've all killed babies. Who up here has an abortion? Okay, none of you men have.
And the idea I put out there, the public option, which the governor was just talking about, this idea is that you use Medicare or Medicaid without any insurance companies involved. You could do it either way. And the estimates are 13 million people would see a reduction in their premiums. 12 more million people would get covered. So I think it is a beginning, and the way you start and the way you move to universal
She
health
just
care.
threw in there 12 million more people would be insured. Will these be the undocumented workers they're speaking of? We call them illegal aliens, therefore breaking criminals, really. Yeah. Is this the 12 million more people they're speaking of in these sanctuary cities?
I don't believe only in reproductive freedom. I believe in reproductive justice.
Justice.
Dun, dun, dun. What that means is that just because a woman or
Beavis,
let's also
they're
not
calling
forget
him Beavis here or what?
someone in the
Beavis
trans
and Butthead?
community.
Look at him.
Doesn't mean they shouldn't have the right to exercise that right to choose.
You heard it here,
So I
folks. You guys are good.
Cover the right to have an abortion.
Awesome.
More than that, everybody
Let's
in this
get some
crowd
names
and
for
watching
all
at home
25
Where's the
of them.
justice? He said, look, he just said that. I
person's
kill
right to
babies too.
choose
That's
is under
injustice.
assault
He would be
in
known
places
as
like
Beavis
Missouri,
to me.
in Alabama, in Georgia.
Ooh.
I would appoint
Look at what he's
judges
calling
to the
out.
federal bench that understand the precedent
That
of
are
Roe v. Wade
biased
and
to
will
only
respect
one
it.
choice and not
in addition
both.
to that, make sure
Man.
that we fight hard as we transition our healthcare
Alabama,
system
you're
to one
awesome.
where everybody
Georgia.
can get and exercise that right.
Senator Warren, would you put limits on any limits on abortion?
I would
Oh, no, we
make
kill
certain
babies
that
all the
every
time.
woman has access to
See?
the full range of
There is no
reproductive
limit.
health care services.
There
and
is
that
no
includes
limits.
birth control, it includes abortion, it includes everything for a woman.
Everything. Look at, she didn't say anything.
It's not enough for us to expect the courts to protect us. 47 years ago, Roe versus Wade was decided, and we've all looked to the courts.
And it was a sham, and Roe, it was all under the bias. She was never raped, and
has put in exceptions
for very, very long. It was all wrong. Roe versus Wade was wrong. It was all under a fallacy.
In America, where most people support Roe versus Wade, we need to
just
make that
let me
federal law.
ball on the snowflake. Thank you.
Senator,
Thanks
I
for
want to kind of
the
come back on
patriotism.
the discussion we were
Thank
having
you for
about
the
health and the
patriotism.
opioid crisis.
Yes.
You
Just let
represent
me
a state
ball
where
on the snowflake.
14 of the 28
stuff.
largest pharmaceutical companies are based. Should pharmaceutical companies that manufacture these drugs be held criminally liable for what they do?
They should absolutely be held criminally liable.
Sure.
This guy wrote a
they're
hit piece on himself, if you guys remember, back when he was in college in the 90s, about stealing second. And it's a pretty nasty little hit piece. And you know,
it's
you get up there on stage, he's like, well, you can't trust them reporters from the 90s. Well, the reporter was you, sir. Well, I'm a different man. I mean,
was in the 90s. That was, no.
You wrote your
I'm
own
talking now,
op-ed
now,
hit
not
piece.
then now.
You wrote your own op-ed hit piece.
Oh my God! Oh, bathhouse. Oh man, he just bathhouse.
What do they call
Look
him?
at him.
Bathroom.
Bathhouse booker.
Bathhouse.
I think he had done him and Obama. You know, from the wall. I don't know. It's only hearsay. It's unprovable.
His booker on the tape.
Behind bars. It's the largest prison population on the face of the planet. Many are there for nonviolent drug crimes, including possession of marijuana, at a time that more than half the states have legalized it or
they're calling him
decriminalized
Mr. Clean.
And yet, despite what Purdue Pharma has done, their connection
what
to the
was the other
opioid
one?
crisis
Beavis.
and the overdose deaths that we're seeing
Who's this
throughout
guy?
this country, they've been
Who's
able
this
to act
guy?
with complete impunity and pay
John
no
Boy or what?
consequences, not a single night in jail.
Not John Boy.
And justice, this crisis will continue. In my administration, we will hold them to account. We will make sure that they pay a price, and we will help those who've been victims of
They've
these
all done
malfeasance
something
in this
wrong.
country. Get
We
them
just gotta
treatment
find it.
and long-term
We just gotta find it. Just, you know, 4 to 5 investigations per person. Well, you know, don't matter.
Beta each Suki.
Whoever, you know, it's like if Trump don't win, whoever wins over there touched me. I don't know who it is yet, but they touched me.
Good evening, Liar. Liar Holt is now on you at 999.
It sounds like a
Real story.
You see this guy right here? Look at this guy. Look at
you would ask.
You don't want to ask.
You don't know.
Context you need.
Let's talk about the max. How do you convince a skittish ass to get on this airplane?
Lester Holt.
Liar Holt.
Liar Holtster.
Wasn't he like? Did he like report some guy like standing in like chest deep water? Like it panned out, and there was a dude like standing up on the road looking down, like, "Hey, what are you guys doing in the ditch
like,
down
hey, man,
there?"
you guys are getting in my scene. I'm supposed to be looking like I'm flooding here.
Sorry, I didn't mean
Really
to get.
hurting our game.
I don't know what you guys doing playing in the ditch down there. All of the rest of us, people up on the street, were dry.
We all tried. We all tried. All right, this is gonna be a tough one, but I'm gonna do it. Photo, image.
Yeah, the whole Roe versus Wade, man. Look into that, man. That Roe, she actually gave her life to Jesus Christ, man, and really has a huge campaign against that, and came out and was like, I was never raped, I was coerced into saying that. She was basically used, man. Yeah, her whole she was. I mean, I think I don't know if she's still alive. I don't know. What do you guys? Is Rose still alive? But yeah,
she died a couple years back, folks.
She died a couple years back. Yeah, that's right. So
I believe somebody can.
But yeah, just
somebody's
a little
gonna
bit
know.
Yeah,
somebody here just researched her a couple nights ago. They just did something. This is how it works, and we need that info.
You guys are awesome. This is why with this much awesome patriots and can get information in the blink of an eye.
No, that's June 2018, man.
Look at these guys. All right. I have a stack of live questions to ask you. To you, this guy, this guy. When I point here, I have the finger of power. Are you ready for the finger of power, sir?
While trying to enter the United States of America. We saw that image today that broke our hearts, and they had names. Oscar Martinez and his 23-month-old daughter Valeria died.
Why are we getting so flamboyant with the English language?
To ask for asylum in this country.
Asylum. Whoa, this guy, he's a power speaker.
More than 130,000 migrants were apprehended at the southern border. Secretary Castro, if you were president today,
whoa, what's that power finger? He's using the Cobra.
Thank you very much, Jose. I'm very proud that in April I became the first candidate to put forward a comprehensive immigration plan. And we saw those images. Watching that image of
we can't all just be like equal.
Valeria,
who cares, man? Black, yellow, white, red, blue, green.
It should also piss us all off.
Ooh, yeah, I'm pissed.
As an eloquent man who's been through high education,
if I were president
speaking
today,
in vulgarity,
I would sign an executive order that would get rid of Trump's zero tolerance policy, the Remain in Mexico policy, and the metering policy. This metering policy is basically what prompted Oscar and Valeria to make that risky swim across the river.
That risky swim across the river to break laws to get into our country.
Ports of entry. Oscar and Valeria went to a port of entry. And then they were denied the ability to make an asylum claim. So they got frustrated and they tried to cross the river.
Stick with us, you guys, because you guys can be able to talk some.
On day one, I would do that executive order that would address metering, and then I would follow that up in my first 100 days with immigration reform that would honor asylum claims, that would put undocumented
So Mike and I were talking in Garage Talk
on a pathway to citizenship.
I think the theme for this should be, are you tough enough?
Marshall Plan for Honduras and Guatemala.
Beat Trump. That's the whole thing.
So that people can find safety and opportunity at home instead of coming to the United States to seek it.
All right, we're going to freeze up here for a minute, but we should be good.
Day one. And this is a situation that the next president will inherit.
Good enough.
I still hear you, but I'm frozen.
La situación ahora
Do not crash on me today.
Presidente ha atacado
Loading up
hey, so they're really trying to get
make sure that number
one, we the Mexican, the Spanish, the Latino vote, which is like, you talk to a lot of American Latinos, and they're like, no, we like America, we like our laws. We don't like other people coming in here legally. Mexicans, Iranians, anybody from any country.
People that are here on temporary protected status can stay and remain here. And then finally, we need
By the way,
to
he
make
was
sure
really
that
pushing
we
out
the
speaking
issues that
Espanol.
made Oscar and Valeria
Really trying to
come
push that.
in the
He's
first
been
place
practicing.
by making major investments in the Northern Triangle, not like this president is doing, by ripping away the resources we need to actually solve this problem. We cannot surrender our values.
Is this guy here tonight, or is he here tomorrow night?
Tomorrow.
Briefly, and this is an important point. You know, my plan, and I'm glad to see that Senator Booker, Senator Warren, and Governor Inslee agree with me on this. My plan also includes getting rid of Section 1325 of the Immigration and Nationality Act to go back to the way we used to treat this when somebody comes across the border,
about the
not to criminalize desperation,
tear it apart a little more. Ain't got enough yet.
If you treat it as a civil violation, that means you have to accept them into the country, therefore house them and keep them here for civil court and due process. That's what this guy's talking about. They shouldn't be there. They're not citizens.
Where's this gay? Where's this gay at?
Alms for the P.O. This guy, I mean, it's what it is. Look, these guys are reaching, man. They're reaching. I mean, they're telling you such of the sliver fraction of the entire truth. It's insanity. So they're trying to tell you how they're going to reform immigration and
we must end
the
those
walls.
policies as well.
Discussion about immigration.
Yeah, you must tear it down.
Look at the bottom line here. That tragic photo of those
tragic.
Parent,
that tragic. Go back, folks. Remember the photo.
This as a father.
Keep
every American should feel that in their heart, and every American should say that is not America. Those are not our values. But we have to get under the skin of why we have this crisis in our system, because we're not being honest about the division that's been fomented in this country.
Also, now it's the divisions that killed this child, not the illegal immigrants. It's the division. I didn't know this was a division.
Who feel you're falling behind, who feel the American dream's not working for you. The immigrants didn't do that to you. The big corporations did that to you.
The evil corporations. Evil corporations. Are those the same ones that are in Mexico right now, or they're the ones that are in America? Which ones? I can't get it straight with you guys.
Every single time against those big corporations who created this mess to begin with.
You
and remind people we're all in this together.
How did corporations create a border
that politics
mess?
that's holding us back? We won't
Is
get
it
all
those
these reforms
corporations
people are
doing
talking about.
nefarious acts in those countries?
Maybe. If I could, I'm sorry.
Time's up. Time's up. Time's up.
Okay. Isn't this the American Democrat?
Treason. It's treason. Is what it is.
This is crazy.
James,
I don't even know what they're saying. Well, I mean, a lot of people here probably don't know what they're talking about right now. They're speaking Spanish.
They speak this. Prison is coming. Prison is coming.
They're speaking. That's what they're trying to say. AO2 Dave, you're awesome.
This is their little fairy tale that they're trying to.
And what you don't know is all those people never really got a very good thing. There we go. Pray for that man. Pray for that man. He needs help.
But let him finish. Let him finish, please. Yes.
We would not detain any family fleeing violence. In fact, fleeing the deadliest countries on the face of the planet today. We would implement a family case
Come on now, really? What about our soldiers in the sandbox? Those guys are getting shot by
dangerous, then we gotta secure our borders because they're that dangerous.
The most dangerous people in this. Oh my gosh.
By making them U.S. citizens here in this country. Invest in solutions in Central America. Work with regional stakeholders so there's no reason to make that 2,000-mile journey.
Secretary, I'll give you 30 seconds.
Let's be very clear.
Wow.
The reason that they're separating these little children from their families is that they're
little children
from their families.
You guys are
spoiled jerks.
What about the child trafficking where they're just selling children so they can get across the border? How about some of that there, buddy?
They're happening. That's happening at the crossings, Ben.
And I want to challenge all of the candidates to do that.
So should we shut those down? No, we can't shut them down.
I think it's a mistake, and I think that if you truly want to change the system,
here's Beavis and Butthead.
Repeal that section. If not,
there you go.
Beavis and Butthead.
Very briefly, actually, as a member of
Look at I like chicken nuggets.
Okay,
I'm a chicken nugget guy.
We don't criminalize those who are seeking asylum and refuge in this country. If you're fleeing desperation, then I want to make sure that you're treated with respect.
I'm still talking about everybody else.
But you're looking at just one small part of this. I'm talking about a comprehensive rewrite of our immigration laws. And if we do that,
get along.
I'm talking about millions of folks. A lot of folks that are coming are not seeking asylum. A lot of them are undocumented immigrants, right? And you said
right, right. They are illegal aliens, criminals, maybe.
Because you were concerned about human trafficking and drug trafficking.
I know, right? Uh-oh.
Title 21 and Title 22 already cover human trafficking.
I think you should do your homework on this issue.
If you did your homework on this issue,
you did your homework last night.
This is an issue that we should and could be talking about for a long time, and we will for a long time.
Can we talk about
Savannah, I know, it's just, we could go on.
But rather than talk about specific provisions, we really have to talk about why these people are and what are we going to do to actually make a difference.
What are we going to do?
What are we going to do it or good or do it or there he is. There he is.
Now what happened when that old 5-head turned into an 8-head?
Cross the border. Do you support that? Do you think it should be a civil offense only? And if so, do you worry about potentially incentivizing people to come here?
Immigrants, they do not diminish America. They are America. And I am happy to look at his proposal, but I do think you want to make sure that you have provisions in place that allow you to go after traffickers and allow you to go after people who are violating the law. What I really think we need to step back
Every
and
one
talk
of them
about
is violating the law. That's taking my step foot here.
And that is that 70 of our Fortune 500 companies are headed up by people that came from other countries. 25% of our U.S. Nobel laureates were born in other countries.
You talked to a lot of those guys, and they came here and worked their butts off to become citizens, and then these huge tycoons.
Small businesses. We need their ideas. And this president has literally gone backwards at a time where our economy needs immigrants. And so my proposal is to look at that 2013 bill that passed the Senate with Republican support, to upgrade that bill, to make it as good as possible and get it done. It brings the debt down by $158 billion.
Senator.
It gives a path to citizenship for people who can become citizens. And
Are we getting billions of dollars in our coffer of our treasury?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Congressman Ryan, same question. Should it be a crime to illegally cross the border, or should it be a civil offense only?
Well, I
crime.
agree with Secretary Castro. I think there are other provisions in the law that will allow you to prosecute people for coming over here if they're dealing in drugs and other things. That's already established in the law, so there's no need to repeat it. And I think it's
it's nothing I really want to hear either.
It's like, yeah, these people. The law. Well, all the law, or your cherry picking fruit basket law?
Your cherry picking fruit basket. All right, we're going to do a little bit more here, then we'll get on to maybe some phone calls. You guys check out a few more here.
That needs to stop. And I think the president should immediately ask
doctors
and nurses to go immediately down to the border and start taking care of these kids. What kind of country are we running here where we have a president of the United States who's so focused on hate and fear and division? And what has happened now, the end result, is now we've got kids literally laying in their own snot with 3-week-old diapers that haven't been changed.
3-week-old diapers.
President, that is not
He's really bashing our border agents and the ICE people who actually take these. Wow.
But no, a lot of people, Jose asked the question, if you're president on day one, what will you do with the fact that you will have families here? There's been a lot of talk about what you'll do in the first 100 days, about legislation. What will you actually do with these families? How will you care for them? Will they be detained or will they not be?
Well, this is a related and brief point, because what we're talking about, what Secretary Castro and I are talking about, is that we have the power to better deal with this problem through the civil process than the criminal process. I have been to some of the largest private prisons, which are repugnant to me, that people are profiting off of incarceration, and their immigration lockups. Our country has made so many mistakes by criminalizing things, whether it's immigration, whether it's mental illness, whether it's addiction. We know that this is not the way to deal with problems. There is a humane way that affirms human rights and human dignity and actually solve this problem. Donald Trump isn't solving this problem. We've seen under his leadership a surge at our border. We solve this problem by making investments in the Northern Triangle to stop the reasons why people are being driven here in the first place. And we make sure we use our resources to provide health care, to affirm the values and human dignity of the people that come here, because we cannot sacrifice our values, our ideals as a nation for border security. We can have both by doing this the right way.
All right, Senator, thank you. Let me go to Governor Inslee on this. What would you do on day one? Same question I just asked Cory Booker. I have yet to hear an answer from anyone on this stage. What will you do with the families that will be here?
There is no reason for the detention and separation of these children. They should be released pending their hearings, and they should have a hearing and the law should be followed. That's what should happen. And we should do what we're doing in Washington State. I'm proud that we've passed a law that prevents local law enforcement from being turned into mini ICE agents. I'm proud to have been the first governor to stand up against Donald Trump's heinous Muslim ban. I'm proud to be a person who's not only talked about Dreamers, but being one of the first to make sure that they get a college education so that they can realize their dreams. These are some of the most inspirational people in our state. And I'll leave you with this thought if you want to know what I think. Donald Trump the other day tried to threaten me. He thought it was a threat to tell me that he would send refugees in Washington State if we passed the law that I passed. And I told him that's not a threat at all. We welcome refugees into our state. We recognize diversity as a strength. This is how we've built America. That tradition is going to continue if I'm president of the United States.
We're going to switch to another topic now. We've got a lot to get through. Let's talk.
My
we need to talk
grandfather
about.
was actually separated from his family when he came to this country.
We're going to talk about Iran right now because we're working against the clock. Tankers have been attacked. A U.S. drone has been shot down. There have been disturbing threats issued by both the U.S. and Iranian leadership. I'd like, if you can, just for a moment, to put aside how you think we may have gotten here. But what I want to know is how do you dial it back? So a show of hands, who as president would sign on to the 2015 nuclear deal as it was originally negotiated? Well, Senator Booker, why not?
May I address that? First and foremost, it was a mistake to pull out of that deal. And one of the reasons why we're seeing this hostility now is because Donald Trump is marching us to a far more dangerous situation. Literally, he took us out of a deal that gave us transparency into their nuclear program and pushed back a nuclear breakout 10, 20 years. And now we see Iran threatening to go further, and we're being pulled in further and further into this crisis. We need to renegotiate and get back into a deal, but I'm not going to have a primary platform to say unilaterally I'm going to rejoin that deal, because when I'm President of the United States, I'm going to do the best I can to secure this country and that region and make sure that if I have an opportunity to leverage a better deal, I'm going to do it.
All right, Senator Klobuchar, I'd like you to answer that question because you said you would negotiate yourself back into the Iranian agreement. Can you argue that nuclear pact, as it was ratified, was a good deal?
Yes, it was.
It was imperfect, but it was a good deal for that moment. I would have worked to get longer sunset periods, and that's something we could negotiate to get back in the deal. But the point is, Donald Trump told us when he got out of it that he was going to give us a better deal. Those were his words. And now we are a month away from the Iranians who claim now that they're going to blow the caps on enriching uranium. And the Iranians have told us this. And so that's where we are right now. He has made us less safe than we were when he became president. So what I would do is negotiate us back into that agreement, is stand with our allies and not give unlimited leverage to China and Russia, which is what he has done. And then, finally, I would make sure that if there is any possibility of a conflict, and we're having this debate in Congress right now, that he comes to Congress for an authorization of military force. I would do that. And this president is literally every single day 10 minutes away from going to war, one tweet away from going to war, and I don't think we should conduct foreign policy in our bathrobe at 5 in the morning, which is what he does.
Congresswoman Gabbard, you've said you would sign back onto the 2015 deal. Would you insist, though, that it address Iran's support for Hezbollah?
Let's deal with the situation where we are, where this president and his chicken hawk cabinet have led us to the brink of war with Iran. I served in the war in Iraq at the height of the war in 2005, a war that took over 4,000 of my brothers and sisters in uniforms lives. The American people need to understand that this war with Iran would be far more devastating, far more costly than anything that we ever saw in Iraq. It would take many more lives. It would exacerbate the refugee crisis, and it wouldn't be just contained within Iran. This would turn into a regional war. This is why it's so important that every one of us, every single American, stand up and say, no war with Iran. We need to get back into the Iran nuclear agreement, and we need to negotiate how we can improve it. It was an imperfect deal. There are issues like their missile development that needs to be addressed. We can do both simultaneously to prevent Iran from developing a nuclear weapon and preventing us from going to war.
Time is up. I have just a very quick follow-up. Well, what would your red line be for military action against Iran?
Look, obviously, if there was an attack against the our troops, then there would have to be a response. But my point is, and it's important for us to recognize this, is Donald Trump and his cabinet, Mike Pompeo, John Bolton, and others, are creating a situation that just a spark would light off a war with Iran, which is incredibly dangerous. That's why we need to de-escalate tensions. Trump needs to get back into the Iran nuclear deal and swallow his pride, put the American people first.
Hey, but wait a minute.
All right, we are out of time. We're up against a hard break, but we will have much more. Mayor de Blasio will have more. The commercial is coming. We will continue our questioning next with Chuck Todd, Rachel Maddow. Stick around. We'll have a lot more with some very anxious candidates just ahead.
All eyes on the 2020 election. Continue to follow the latest on the candidates with the NBC News mobile app. Stay connected with breaking news, top stories, live video, and all your favorite NBC News shows. Text NBC News to 66866 to get the app now.
All right, well, on Election Day 2020, Donald Trump will be something he was not on Election Day 2016. That is President Donald Trump, an incumbent running for re-election. In some ways, a re-election campaign for a president, of course, becomes a referendum on how folks feel the president did during his 4 years in office. So what can we say about how voters have been reacting so far to the Trump presidency? Well, what you see here, this is his average approval rating, meaning you've always got these different polls out there. One day NBC will have one, the next day CNN will have one. They're always coming in from all over the place. This trend line is an average, a day-to-day average of all of those polls put together. And what you see here in this trend line is it's a very narrow range that Trump is operating. And what I mean by that is, look at this. This is his high watermark, his peak as president. His average approval rating at its best, 46%. And when was this? Early February 2017. That was his honeymoon. He had just become president. That makes him different right there from every modern predecessor he has, because all of them have gotten to 60, 65, 70%. At least for a short period. They all had honeymoons. Trump's honeymoon, he couldn't even crack 50%. So already we see a lower ceiling for Trump than we've seen with past presidents. But that comes with a flip side, and that is the basement for Trump. Look at this. 37% is the low point he's hit in his average approval rating as president. That is actually not as low as some of his predecessors have gone. We've seen Nixon, Bush Sr., Carter. We saw them fall into the 20s. At some point during their term. That has not happened to Trump either. 37 on the low end, 46 on the high end. Right now, somewhere in between. It's a very narrow range. It speaks to polarization. I'll tell you, it speaks to something else. Is this presidency really any different politically in terms of how it's being received than the campaign in 2016? Because compare this trend line, 46, 37, low, high. Compare that to Trump's support against Hillary Clinton in the polls in the fall of 2016. Trump's average support at a low point, 36%. At a high point, about 43.5%. Of course, on Election Day, what was the number he hit? 46%, the same high watermark he's had in his approval rating. So Trump has been operating in the same range as a candidate, as president. We say it speaks to polarization. It also speaks to, look, this is somebody who succeeded as a candidate in 2016 despite some very high negative numbers. What I mean by that is, look at this, the exit poll on Election Day. Do you think Donald Trump's qualified to be president? Only 38% said they thought he was qualified for the job. The clear majority said Trump wasn't qualified. Does he have the temperament? 35% said he had the temperament. Do you like him? Do you have a favorable view? Only 40% did. You're not supposed to be able to win with those numbers. Trump was one of the big reasons his opponent, Hillary Clinton, by Election Day 2016, almost as unpopular as he was, only 43% favorable. It created that narrow path for Trump. And that becomes the question when you look at that approval rating now in 2020. Can he make his opponent as unpopular on Election Day as Clinton was in 2016?
Good evening, everyone. Breaking news tonight.
Lester Holt.
It sounds like a jet airplane up there, but that is fire. Let's talk about the MAX. How do you convince a skittish passenger to get on this airplane? We've met a lot of great people.
The most trusted TV news anchor in America.
That's Nightly News. I'm Lester Holt. Welcome back, everyone, to the first Democratic presidential debate from the Arch Center in Miami.
And as we continue the questioning, time to get more members of our team in the mix.
So right now, let's turn it over to Chuck Todd and Rachel Maddow. Take it away.
Thanks, Jose. All right, we're going to start by recapping the rules. 20 candidates qualified for this first Democratic debate. We're going to hear from 10 tonight, 10 more tomorrow. The breakdown for each night was selected at random. Now, the candidates will have 60 seconds to answer, 30 seconds for a follow-up if necessary, and we will be ruthless if necessary.
Yeah, we can do that. By the way, hi, Rachel.
Hi, Chuck.
How you doing?
Good.
And we've got a lot of ground to cover. We're going to be talking about guns and climate here up top. A whole lot more in this hour. Obviously, because of the size of the field, not every person will be able to weigh in on everything, but over the course of this next hour, we will hear from everyone. I promise everybody. And to begin with, we're going to go with guns. And Senator Warren, I want to start with you. We are less than 50 miles from Parkland, Florida, where 17 people were killed in a school shooting last year. and where there has been significant activism on gun violence ever since. Many of you are calling for a restoration of an assault weapons ban, but even if implemented, there will still be hundreds of millions of guns in this country. Should there be a role for the federal government?
Their mics are on.
Everybody's mics are on. I think we have I heard that too. That's okay. I think we had a little mic issue in the back.
Control room, we've got contrary
I think we
audio.
heard, we have the audience audio. All right. So the question is simply this. I apologize you guys didn't get to hear this, the first part of the question. Obviously, we're not far from Parkland, Florida. Gun activism has become a big part of high school life up there in Broward County. Many of you are calling for tighter gun restrictions. Some of you are calling for the restoration of the assault weapons ban. But even if it's put in place, there's still going to be perhaps hundreds of millions of guns still on the streets. Is there a role for the federal government in order to get these guns off the streets?
Someone's got my binder.
What's happening?
We are hearing our colleagues' audio. If the control room could turn off the mics. Yeah, if the control room could turn off the mics of our previous moderators, we will.
I think it's the prior moderators.
You know, we prepared for everything.
Guess what, guys?
We did not prepare for this.
We are going to take a quick break. We're going to get this technical situation fixed. We will be right back.
All eyes on the 2020 election.
We'll take a break
Continue
from that
to
too,
follow the
'cause I hear
latest on the
brain.
candidates with the NBC News mobile app.
Man, oh man! Now
What are you guys
saw
thinking?
the
You're liking what you're hearing?
crazy numbers they were spewing, right? Oh my gosh, they were all showing those crazy numbers. It's like, no,
This is kind of
no,
cool. Like real quick, the chats on the screen are just moving. There's 1,000 people in the room, but man, the ones on the TV here, I don't know if they're just kind of moving in the increment of what I set it at, about 15 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, they're
all these. Let's take a call.
Yeah, let's take a call.
Hold on here. That can't be. I turned it on. We'll see.
All of a sudden, they got technical difficulty. They start talking about gun control. They're talking about tearing the wall that has been currently built. The only people I know will go build something brand new. They're like, that's not us. I don't feel that. Tear it down. Crazy
talk.
Oh, Mancow. This guy's like, this guy is not supposed to win. Do you understand this? Look at this is out of here. So it's like they're showing like Trump and Clinton numbers from the 2016, which we know were rigged, because when they were posting them as real time, they weren't even posting right numbers real time. It was one. And I think all of America, I mean, those asleep and awoke saw that on our 2016, where depending on what news corporation you were following.
Well, that was quick, Mike.
Hey, what's going on?
Welcome, brother.
Yes, we are.
Oh. Well, okay. Well, if we're going to be on air, I just want to say you guys are doing a really great job.
Thank you.
I think that a lot of this stuff that's going on TV is a waste of time.
Oh, yeah.
Because we all know who's going to be president anyway.
It's a lot of bread and circus. Give me a call back on off hours. I'll answer. Send me a text or something beforehand. We could talk a little bit. Sounds like you got something you want to talk about, but not on air. But yeah, we're on air right now. I don't know if you're watching the live stream, but we're just covering the part 1 of 2.
I couldn't take it anyway. I had to turn it off.
Yeah, no.
People are crazy.
You're right. We're with you. You're right. It is.
I mean,
we're with you. We can only take so much.
Yep. It's the same old rhetoric, isn't it? They're going to do something this time about it.
Oh, no, man. It's crazy. It's getting worse and worse. And listen, I will say, in the next few days, I mean, we're coming up to the break. All right? And I don't know if you guys understand what the break means, but the break is the most important thing when it comes to playing pool.
Yes.
Okay? Oh, it's critical.
The break is the most important thing. and we're all waiting for the break, buddy.
All right, we're with you. We're waiting too.
Yes, we are
what
with
I
you.
mean soon.
All right, we'll be keeping our ears and eyes open. Give us a text or a call.
Hey, brother. Hey, what was your? Hey, well, I got you here real quick. What was your rate?
I was a E5 and I was a D seaman.
You was a D seaman.
Yep, damage control.
Oh, damage control.
For
okay.
for a majority
I
of.
thought you might have been an RM.
Well, then I got into.
You might have been an RM.
Nope. Okay. Nope. Radio man. But then I got into the computer field the last 3 years of the service. 2.5, better part of close to 3, about 2 and 8 months. But all right, we'll take one more call and then we're gonna get back to this, brother. We appreciate it, and you have a great night.
Lots of love, man. God bless. Keep up the good fight.
All right, man, we'll talk to you soon.
All right. All right. Let's see if another caller comes in real quick here while we're waiting on old shut down.
Robust plans to deal with guns, including assault weapons ban. But even if you're able to implement that, what do you do about the hundreds of millions of guns already out there? And does the federal government have to play a role in dealing with it?
So, in this period of time that I've been running for president, I've had more than 100 town halls. I've taken more than 2,000 unfiltered questions. And the single hardest question I've gotten.
Oh, unfiltered.
I got one from a little boy and I got one from a little girl. And that is to say,
children.
When you're president, how are you going to keep us safe? That's our responsibility.
You should be teaching
as
the little
adults.
children how to keep themselves
7
safe by good morals
will
and
die today
values.
from gun violence, children and teenagers. And they won't just die in mass shootings. They'll die on sidewalks, they'll die in playgrounds, they'll die in people's backyards. Gun violence is a national health emergency in this country, and we need to treat it like that.
What? It's a pandemic. It's a disease.
We can do the things that are sensible. We can do the universal background checks. We can ban the weapons of war. But we can also double down on
You've
the
already
research
banned weapons of war. You can't own a machine gun since like the 30s.
We can make the differences at the margins that will keep our children safe. We need to treat this like the virus that's killing our children.
You didn't
virus.
Do you think the federal government needs to go and figure out a way to get the guns?
What it is a good
Get the guns. Get the guns. Get the
We
guns.
need to treat it like a serious research problem, which we have not done. You know, guns in the hands of a collector
Call us and we'll stop this
who's
madness.
had them for decades.
Yeah.
who's
This is
never
crazy.
fired
Please,
them, who
I need to
takes
take
safety
siphoned off this.
seriously. That's very different from guns that are sold
Who's
and
got the
turned over
number?
quickly.
Who's got
We
the number?
can't treat
I don't.
this as an across-the-board
I don't think it
problem.
seems like it's.
We have to treat it like a public health emergency. That means bring data to bear, and it means making real change in this country, whether it's politically popular or not.
Senator Booker, you have a program.
Empire.
Senator Booker,
Fight for our children.
Somebody get that.
federal government buyback
580-2300.
in your plan.
Empire.
How is that going to work?
Well, first of all, I want to say
Too much
my colleague and I both have been hearing this on the campaign trail.
You guys
But what's
figure
even
it out.
worse is I hear shots in my neighborhood.
There it is.
You figured that out.
I hope I'm the only one on this panel here that had 7 people shot in their neighborhood just last week.
Whoa.
Okay, so now he's really pushing. He lives in the ghetto. Like, I guess he just got 7 dudes got blasted on his block last week.
This is not a policy
That's what he just
issue.
said.
This is an urgency. And for those who have not been directly affected, they're tired of living in a country where their kids go to school to learn about reading,
Isn't that what they did to Obama before he got in the office? Put him in the ghetto for a little bit, put him in the projects, live him there.
I'm tired of, and I'm tired of.
Called in.
Texas, this is the Patriot Hour. This is Michael, Ben. What's going on?
Hello.
Hello?
Hey, how's it going?
I can barely hear you. Is this Michael?
Yes. Can you not hear us? Hold on, let me see here.
I got you, Michael. I can hear you now.
Okay.
This is Ginger.
Awesome.
Hi, Ben.
Hey, how we doing, Miss Ginger?
I'm pretty upset about this. Aren't you?
Isn't this crazy?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
This is madness.
Oh, wow. This is
what
crazy
in the
propaganda.
heck is going on with these people? We have a constitution. We have not been invaded in our country because other countries know we carry. What are we going to do?
Yes.
Give up our guns and let them just fly in and take over? What is wrong with these people? They're talking about these babies that are coming across the borders. Well, who's ever bringing those poor little kids across that border should be arrested. They don't protect our babies that haven't been born yet. New York's killing the babies that have been born. None of these people are impressing me. I'm sitting here mad. And it's going to get people so angry just listening to these idiots that we're going to get out there and we're going to round up everybody we know, and Trump will win bigger.
Yes.
Because they are trying to take over the United States, they're trying to destroy our Constitution, and we better wake up. Because if any of them idiots get in, we're in trouble.
I agree. At this point, I'm listening to hear what they're going to do for an American. I haven't heard anything.
Yeah. Well,
I haven't heard nothing.
Yeah.
They have no policies. They're still running on the same old thing.
It's crazy.
And I'm just angry that they do not see what Trump has done for our country.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he is better than Obama ever was. Biden, give me a break. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just very angry at this. And if this doesn't get us out to vote, I don't know what will.
That's why we decided to do it. And probably tomorrow night, a little bit of I think Biden tomorrow, Sanders. I think they're going to be tomorrow. I thought they'd have Bernie tonight, and
And
Biden
that
tomorrow.
Harris, I heard her the other day say, "Oh, I'm having so much fun running for president." Well, she can't even take care of the state of California. They're talking about these illegals coming in. Look at all the homeless in California in tent cities with the needles in the street. And they can't even take care of California. She's running for president. Can you imagine what she'd do to America? And they're griping about the people coming across the border.
Yes.
What about the people here that need shelters?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. That's a very good point.
But I think Trump will just destruct them in the debates, no matter who it is that gets it, because they're idiots.
Oh, yeah.
They are idiots.
Oh, yeah.
And they're not for this Constitution. They're just for it in name only. That's it.
I agree.
Yes.
But anyway, I
guess
I better go take a heart pill. You guys have a good night.
All right, you too.
Thank you so much. Lots of love. God bless.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Awesome call.
Awesome.
Guys.
Yeah. No. This is what it is, man. If this doesn't get you out to vote or to get a part of it or to tell somebody that this is all just a bunch of propaganda, I mean, this gets our heart racing just as much as uncovering these people and their evil deeds and what they've been doing with trafficking and crimes against children. I mean, you're talking about abortion, killing our babies, and it's good to hear that you guys are as fired up about this kind of stuff as we are. And hearing this stuff, we say all the time, you gotta know your enemy. Why? Because it's easier to defeat them.
Yes, there you go. Perfect.
Hang on. Let me give 30 seconds. Senator Klobuchar, the Iron Range. I'm curious. Gun confiscation, right? If the government is buying back, how do you not have that conversation?
Well, that's not confiscation. You would give them the offer to buy back their gun. But I'll say this:
Talking
I
about
look
the
at these
buybacks,
proposals
Dan.
and I say,
Oh, you give them the offer to buy back their
Uncle Dick
gun.
and his
What's
deer
that
stand,
mean?
coming from a proud hunting and fishing state. These proposals don't do that. When I was a prosecutor, I supported the assault weapon ban. When I was in the Senate, I saw those moms from Sandy Hook come and try to advocate for change, and we all failed. And then now these Parkland kids from Florida, they started literally a national shift. You know why? It's just like with gay marriage. When kids talk to their parents and their grandparents, they say, I don't understand why we can't put these sensible things in place. Say, listen, and if
Ben,
we
what's
get
going
bested
on?
by a bunch of 17-year-olds,
What's
it's the
up?
best thing
What's up, buddy? Your last caller was awesome. Spot on.
Yes.
I mean, really.
Hey, can you hear Ben? Real quick, do a test with me. Can you hear Ben at all? Ben, say something.
Hey, how you doing, brother?
Yeah, I can hear you, Dan. What's up?
All right, perfect.
Sweet.
So what's on your mind? What made you call in tonight, other than the last caller was awesome, because I agree with you.
Well, I love you guys, but realistically, how do these Democrats talk about the children on the border? You know what I'm saying? Talk about the children.
Yep.
And then the abortion. You know what I mean? It just twists my mind.
The poor kids here at the border, but then women need to have the right to do this and not,
We're gonna kill our own babies, but let these ones in.
Yeah, the Virginia governor wants to be able to, what's it called? Fantasize? Wants to be able to kill a child after it's born, but they're so worried. And you guys heard, right, where you can't even, I'm sorry, they're trying to get beds down by the border, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And the Democrats don't even want to fund it.
But then were they just saying Trump didn't want to give them
heard that?
I don't know if I heard that. I did hear that.
Trump wants to give the money. No, there was actually a walkout. There was a company that was building beds for the kids, right? For the government. And there was an actual walkout because AOC, Princess AOC, started telling these people that you're making money off the illegal kids. Again, it's craziness. You get to the point where it's like, what's going on here? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So do you want to help the people? Do you not want to help the people? You want to save the kids at the border, but you want to kill the kids on the operating table?
Yeah, it doesn't.
What do you want to do?
Your head spins just trying to even wrap your mind around it.
It's crazy.
It's
right. There's no consistency. There's like the Democratic Party it's like a river. Okay, the river just flows, and everybody just jumps in their tubes and just agrees and goes along with the river. You know what I'm saying? So
go along to get along.
What's that?
Oh, you got to go along to get along is the old Democratic mantra, if you will.
Yeah, it goes to the point where you guys know this. I mean, most politicians are compromised, whether it's money laundering,
some kind of blackmail,
some blackball. Exactly. So they did something with maybe someone underage. You know that. There's the Democratic. The Democratic Party is so in tune. Like they always they vote to party. Whereas the Republicans, at least you see some variation. Some goes, no, yes, some. But the Democrats, if Nancy says, hey, vote on this, they all do it.
Oh, like they're minions.
There's a guy in Virginia, I believe, I forgot his name, who's, he's the only one who stood up when Trump was, doing the, what was it? You guys, he does it once a year. But he was the only guy who literally stood up and applauded. And all the other Democrats just heads down and rolling their eyes. State of the Union, I'm sorry.
At the State of the Union,
when all the Democrats kind of paired together.
Democrat. Do you remember that?
The Virginia one. There's so many I don't, but I probably know the face. But no, I mean, so you're not hearing anything real good out of this tonight, or what?
No, I'm fine with you. I posted. I sent you guys some money. I just couldn't.
Oh man, thank you.
And sometimes I was just like, "Hey guys, just quiet. Just let us hear, and then make your comment after." Because sometimes what happens is we're trying to listen to what they're saying.
Yeah.
And you guys are kind of over talking.
I guess if we tune it down,
you guys are awesome. Man.
Yeah, we'll let them talk, and then we'll tune it down, and then you guys are gonna miss some of it because we're missing it right now. We got it tuned down, and Elizabeth, looks like she's going off.
No.
But
I like you talking, but just tone your voice a little bit less than right now we got Pocahontas on.
Yeah.
So as long as you guys talk all you want, as long as you're a little bit less than the candidate, that's fine. But when you guys are as loud or maybe a little more than the candidate, then it's hard to hear the debate.
Gotcha. We appreciate that.
I'll send you guys tomorrow morning.
Hell yeah.
I appreciate you guys taking my call.
Hey, call back anytime.
Oh, it's always
brother.
a pleasure, man.
Yep, we love you. We love you too, and God bless, man. And we'll see you. We'll see you.
Yeah, God bless, man, for sure.
All right, bye-bye.
That is awesome.
Great call, you guys. Great call. Great call.
Oh, yeah.
And no, we're learning too. So this is like one of the first times that we've actually done something where we're trying to talk a little bit. So let us know. We're listening here a little bit. I'll do what he said.
The gun issue is related. The gun safety issue is related because I can't tell you how many times I've been with folks in Western Maryland, and they've said to me, you know, Democrats don't do anything for us. Republicans don't do anything for us. You fight all the time, so they vote on that single issue. If we become the party of getting things done for the American people with real solutions, not impossible promises, we'll be able to get all these things done.
2:30s here. I'm going to say, Senator Booker, 30 seconds.
30 seconds, Booker.
How do you deal with Mitch McConnell? You've been in the Senate. You can't get bills on the floor right now with Mitch McConnell. Presidents can't do it. Is President Booker going to get his bills on the floor with Senator McConnell?
You know, when I got to the United States Senate, going back to what de Blasio said, as an African-American man in an African-American dominated community, I knew one of the biggest issues was criminal justice reform. From police accountability to dealing with the fact that we have a nation that has more African-Americans under criminal supervision than all the slaves in 1850. And when I got to the Senate, people told me we could not get a comprehensive criminal justice reform bill done. And as my colleagues in the Senate know, I fought on that bill from the day I got to the Senate, built coalitions across the aisle, and today we passed the First Step Act. It's not as far as I want to go, but thousands of people will be liberated. I've taken on tough problems people said we cannot achieve, and I've been able to get things accomplished.
Thank you, Senator Booker.
Thank you, Senator Booker.
I've started taking the guns out of the hands of good, honest Americans, and that's not as far as I want to go.
Are they trying to explain how they're going to do it?
He sees you too.
See on the issue of climate change. It is first, second, and third priority
for change.
Yeah,
oh my gosh,
that's just a
hooks. It's an evil hoax.
For whether it's one way or the other, it's natural. But man, you're not handing your government any more money for that crap. They're not going to throw dollars at it.
My climate changes all the time. Yesterday, it was a couple days ago. There was tornadoes and high winds. Now it's
dollars ain't
sun
going to change that.
shining, and less chemtrails up in the skies. I hope that's a part of where our president's doing good things.
Okay, I want to say it looks like I got a PayPal here. I want to thank you guys. And let me look at the super chats. Haven't looked at them in a minute. Go through here. Wow.
Yeah,
so shot clips. Real Doc Montana. We want to listen to the candidates. Please comment on the breaks. Good point. EO2 Dave, I refuse to listen to this. I bet nobody wants to break up Google tonight. Increase the debate volume and reduce talk volume. That's the... Okay, we got it. Actually, we got it now because I was not looking at this the whole time. So we got
a lot going on in studio there.
And the only one who's saying this has to be the top priority of the United States, the organizing principle to mobilize the United States so that we can do what we've always done. Lead the world and invent the future and put 8 million people to work.
Governor,
that's what we're going to do.
Governor,
Congressman O'Rourke, you've also put out a big climate change plan from your campaign. You want some big changes in a pretty short period of time, including switching to renewable energy, pushing to replace gas-powered cars in favor of electric ones. What's your message to a voter who supports the overall goal of what you're trying to do, but suddenly feels as if government's telling them how to live and ordering them how to live? What is that balance like?
I think you've got to bring everybody in to the decisions and the solutions to the challenges that we face. That's why we're traveling everywhere, listening to everyone. We were in Pacific Junction, a town that had never meaningfully flooded before, just up against the Missouri River in Iowa. And every home in that community had flooded. There were farms just outside of Pacific Junction that were effectively lakes. Those farmers already underwater in debt. Their markets closed to them by a trade war under this administration, and now they don't know what to do. We in our administration are going to fund resiliency in those communities in Miami, in Houston, Texas, those places that are on the front lines of climate change today. We're going to mobilize $5 trillion in this economy over the next 10 years. We're going to free ourselves from a dependence on fossil fuels, and we're going to put farmers and ranchers in the driver's seat. Renewable and sustainable agriculture to make sure that we capture more carbon out of the air and keep more of it in the soil, paying farmers for the environmental services that they want to provide. If all of us does all that we can, then we're going to be able to keep this planet from warming another 2 degrees Celsius and ensure that we match what this country can do and live up to our promise and our potential.
30 seconds, Secretary Castro. Who pays for the mitigation to climate, whether it's building seawalls, for people that are perhaps living in places that they shouldn't be living? Is this a federal government issue that needs to do that? Ooh. Do they have to move these people? What do you do about that where maybe they're building a house someplace that isn't safe? Cities. Who pays to build that house? And how much should the government be bailing them out?
Well, I don't think that represents the vast majority of the issue. In fact, my first visit after I announced my candidacy wasn't to Iowa or New Hampshire, it was to San Juan, Puerto Rico. Because people should know if I'm elected president, everybody will count. And, I'm one of the few candidates in this race with executive experience, with a track record of getting things done.
All right. That's hurting my head, folks. That's hurting my head.
This guy doesn't go to the United States. He goes to a territory. It helps him before he helps somebody in his own state. Wow, that's crazy. Climate change. It's funny is because they can't say global warming anymore because it's been already scientifically, everybody totally refuted, because anybody who knows an ounce of any type of real science will say, oh, no, we have to say change now because it's really not warming. We can't really say it is, but it is changing. It's changing. And of course, we need to take the carbon out of the air. Well, is that carbon monoxide or carbon dioxide? And which ones do the plants eat? And they need it to grow. And which one do we exhale? So what is he really telling us out there? It's like people are idiots, and they're banking on the fact that all of you are idiots as well. And in the land of the blind people, the one-eyed man is king. And these people that thinking that we're all blind, deaf, and dumb. What's up? This is just crazy, man. It's crazy. Save the farting cows, trial and error say. It's hilarious, yeah. AOC wants to get rid of all the cows. Yeah, AOC said that we only got 12 years left. Oh, Bert Hartke. I agree.
She wants them gone. Please stand by. Look to Twitter.
That's right, exactly. TikTok, CO2.
It's about to get real. Trolling thunder.
You want someone that he doesn't have lightning and thunder. This hand's troll, that hand's thunder.
The most dangerous man in the world to global organized crime.
There it is. Okay.
Listen up. I've only got 8 years to teach Americans how their constitutional democratic republic is supposed to work.
Yes. Listen up here. Listen up. Okay.
Donald Trump crossing the swamp on the eve of the night. Yeah. Oh, man. What the heck? I'd be like, hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Read that one there.
Yeah,
see,
God, it's like,
us to stand together, united as one. Empower your people to stay together, united as one. We stand united. Winning, winning, winning. Days without winning. Oh, man, that's funny. Q research, Q research.
That's funny. Oh,
Anon's new. This motherfucker was like Willy Wonka now.
He
To
crazy.
seek truth requires one to ask the question. Just to ask the question. This guy wants to ban spoons.
So he can jab you in your eye with his fork.
What's this going on? Yeah. Shine my shoe.
Same guy who wants to ban spoons.
Stone Cold Loser. Stone Cold Loser.
I like the Miami Vice look.
If you think I'm a stone cold loser, share this post. Enough of this shit. The situation requires a large injection of undeniable truth.
Oh, yes. It'll be painful for some, but will ensure much need clarity. People should watch the media's reaction. Kind of like what's happening right now. I mean, this is insanity. Some of the stuff they're going on. If I was president.
Where did that come from?
Ooh, hey.
Oh, look. This is randomly pulling up people's stuff now like it's supposed to. That's
okay,
awesome.
this was supposed to be going the whole time, but nice, nice.
Yeah.
Shot clips, what's up?
You guys, this works really well. Look at that, Ben.
I like that. Yeah. Share up a cola. Nice.
Let me see here.
Trying some new things. Yeah, like I said, man, we can only we can only take so much of the propaganda. You know, I like how it brings in there even the little target there. Yeah, that's awesome. I like that. Be sure you put that little saver to the.
There we go. So we'll leave this up here.
It is definitely wine time.
We'll go through a
This
few
is
of these
crazy.
and just have some. You guys got your highlighted tweets. I don't know, how's that coming up in order? Is it the last ones that are up, or just randomly?
I think it just come up randomly, honestly. Haley Dobbs. Let me see here. Yeah. See when it comes up next. I think it is kind of in order, actually.
A little bit of tick to see if it's Jacqueline Knack next. Nope. Skipped over and went to Paul Marshall.
All right, so it's kind of giving every couple other ones. That's kind of cool. I'm liking that. Paul Marshall, loving it. Love your picture, dude. He's super excited. There it is. It's playoffs. That's funny.
That's awesome.
That is cool.
So we're stoked about the new. That's an overlay.
The new format, yeah.
There you go. Let me get rid of that.
Other ones, see, that's looking smooth. Smooth.
Let me do this.
Yeah, our Patriots will never let them back in power. See if we can get up in there. I see what kind of mojo you're working with back on the studio. See, a lot of stuff we do, you know, it's you kind of learn trial by fire. That's how we like to do it, see?
A little trial by fire, see here.
I agree with you, Haley. Anyone who can juggle could win. I'm bold without the mold. That's huge. Oh, yeah.
Man, I can't get that to move. Let me see here. Position.
Let's see if we can put it down here.
Can't move it. Can't move it. Can't move it.
It's not gonna do. I do like it though. Coming is. I do like it coming in though on the VMix Social one. That's pretty cool. It does pull it in. Nice. Nice. All the mods. You guys are doing awesome. Yeah, it's crazy with this many people watching. There's probably all kinds of craziness happening on there.
Yeah.
That's right. I agree too.
My brain hurts from listening to them too much. We can't do too much of that. We'll probably do it again tomorrow, listen to a little bit, but we did almost an hour and a half of that. And I just don't know. Thank you, Diana Lively. We're going to start doing this at least. You know what's cool is out of everything, Ben, if we build one with just one, like what's up there now, to always at least have the one for one. I mean, that's kind of...
And hey, you know, the more you chat, and you may be featured. That's kind of an unbiased showcase of you guys there.
Yeah, because let's see here. If I just do none.
I agree. Yeah. See,
and then I can do.
That's pretty cool.
I didn't do anything to get that to set up. Let me try some more here. Social, flash.
No, the fact that I mean, first of all, just thank all you guys for showing up here tonight. Looking to see who's going to be the biggest candidate for the losing position, the number 2, not number 1. It's funny that some of the stuff they were talking about tonight. They were avoiding all of the major accomplishments that we've come. I mean, when have we ever, at least not in my lifetime, have we ever had a president say, in history, when it comes to how good we're doing? Like, it's usually, this is the worst gun crime in history, and they're using as a bad one, right? And it's like, they're talking about, I'm going to reform this. They're telling you that they're doing more effort for other children and other people from other countries than they are about our own children, our own people, and our own country. I mean, and they're sitting there telling you time and time again, well, we're going to go to this. That one guy up there, I don't remember which one he was. Jeez, one of the Beavis or Butthead duo was saying that his first major thing that he did when he was in Congress, he went over to Puerto Rico, and he was like, I went down there and helped them down there. It's like, well, okay, they're a territory, the District of Columbia, but what state of the United States, the Confederated United States, our Democratic Republic, what did you do there? Well, it was all for optics there, good sir. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy to hear these guys, and you see a lot of Spanish that a few of them were trying to spit out was like very well rehearsed. They couldn't they couldn't roll them R's. They couldn't get that lingo. I mean, it's like puppeteers. Hey, actors and actresses can study for a line. Originally from these different other countries, and they can speak all different kinds of languages that you think they got taught, but they really just memorize some good lines, So it's like, it's crazy. Yeah, I agree with you. How dare CEOs make millions of dollars? I say, how the hell are partition millionaires without a short time? Yeah, we've said many times before where these guys' financial incomes before and after they hit Washington seem to balloon by millions. And it's like, at least the corporations. And when we say corporations, I'm not talking about your local, plaza down the street that has 3 or 4 small businesses and they're all getting together and, so they can all become a corporation. Or the corporation when you get married. Or the corporation. I mean, you make a corporation for things all the time. It's a corpus, it's a transactional thing. When Mike and I talk about the corporations, we're talking about the huge, large companies that facilitate the bandages and the bullets for countries at time of war. Those type of companies are the ones we're talking about, and those companies are based in multiple countries, not the ones that are the small mom and pop shops here in America trying to do the right thing. And if you want to form a company, you got to have a DBA, doing business as, you got to incorporate yourself, got to have a commercial. I mean, come on now. Even the guy who's, the Joe Plumber guy that we always used to hear about. Oh, about Joe Plumber. He's the owner, the operator, the proprietor, the janitor, You know, I mean, we got a guy here on our team who owns a business, and that's owning a business means you have a small corporation, and he wears multiple hats. You know, he's not evil. He's actually an awesome patriot. So it's like they really skew the lines, and it's like, we're going to give you more free stuff, and then we're going to have other people from other countries come in here for free and give them free stuff.
Yeah.
But who's going to pay for everything?
Yeah.
Well, the people who
That's how that
were here paying taxes, like, geez, we'll just borrow more from the Federal Reserve. You know, that fiat currency, those Nimrod notes.
Yeah.
No, I'm liking it. I'm definitely liking the little the text and some other, so that's pretty cool.
This blue one should be the Twitter. I don't know if I did it right. I was going to look here real quick.
They have it linked up because that's pretty cool. Now, I was hearing some rumors that Trump's going to be putting up this Democratic debate up on his Twitter feed. I know we were talking about that earlier, but I don't know if he was he going to be doing that or not. I don't know. I'm pretty sure you guys can let us know. So this is crazy, man. Crazy. So what do you guys kind of think about some of the stuff they're trying to stand on? I mean, we have some of these guys get indicted. Can they still run? I don't know. Wasn't Hillary? Well, Hillary wasn't indicted, but she was under investigation, and they still run. But if you're indicted, that means you would be charged with a crime, and you'd be guilty of that crime. That's indictment. I don't think you can, depending what the crime is, I mean, you know, you probably wouldn't be able to run.
Yeah.
I was hoping Trump would sneak up behind him tonight. Yeah, you can be under investigation, at least, well, that's Clinton standards. We know her standards are a little bit under and over our current law that we have. We've seen how that works.
Stick with the red. It's kind of cool. There's lots of other formats, folks, but we'll be playing around with that, so no worries.
Yeah, it's definitely pretty awesome coming at you guys. No, I've had a great time tonight seeing who's the biggest loser going to be. Round one. It's funny, they can't. There's so many up there. It's like they're all trying to vie for the top spot to call them. You're a mean white man. I mean, they're shooting every angle, and you know, I wonder if the Sedition Act will come into play. They're saying certain things that they can't, shouldn't normally. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's like, because if these people are saying crazy things to begin with.
They've already broken it.
What up, Barbara?
They've already broken it multiple times. Sedition, low-level treason, high-level treason, by inciting people. So no matter what, and here's a big box of these. Looks awesome. You can see all the people's photos that have been blended in.
It says right here, shot clips is here. I'll read it. Climate change is numbers. Australia was deleting low temp levels to make sure the numbers match what they wanted. Liberal academia pays their check. They can't get weather correct in a week. They can know it in 10 years out? ? Oh, great point, shot clips. We see all the time here, and you guys see it wherever you guys live out. Yeah, they can't hardly predict the weather 10 days out, but yet they can tell us what happened thousands of years ago, and then, of course, they're going to predict thousands of years out and say, oh, we only got 12 years left according to our... Great point.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So here's the vMix Social, guys. This is really awesome. It actually brings in photos better than YouTube does.
Yes.
I don't know if there's something we can do here within vMix and harness and have, members and or anything more so than what we can have on YouTube. So,
because I like the photos that some of you guys, that's cool. Because you guys look more.
Paul Marshall there, and then you got people that don't have. You got the generic blue or purple, which is fine. So
yeah, it's totally cool.
No,
it's just nice. It makes it look more for you guys.
Great show here tonight. Let me take take a look at the old live chat again. Shot clips. Joanne Lavagrain, EO2 Dave shot clips, EO2 Dave shot clips, EO2 Dave shot clips. And it's like you guys are going for battle.
You guys are awesome.
I don't know who won.
Awesome.
Just let me ball. I'm a snowflake. Thank you. Real Doc Montana. Yes. Real Doc Montana. Thank you. Shot clips.
Montana.
EO2 Dave. EO2 Dave. Shot clips. Shot clips has got the last super chat in. As of now, you guys are, that means a lot. I'm joking.
No, man. Hey, you guys, it's amazing. Man. We're glad you guys came to the show to be a part of this with us. Mike and I were like, man, should we do what was that? The mystery science mystery theater 3000. We're like, let's do a little bit of the trash talk on these. They're gonna be talking
debate. That's
some disco jive out there, jowls.
Apparently, the FBI is above the law. No one arrested. See, I kind of like this chat. It highlights one for us to look at.
Yeah. Every few of them, which is cool.
Coming, folks. That's like
yes.
Expose the crimes. So,
right. Yeah. I'm loving it. No, this is awesome, man. This is awesome, you guys. Like we were telling you before, man. Everything that we do. And all the support you guys help us out with, that's what we're doing. Is we're building. We're constantly making, better content, better shows, bringing stuff to you. I mean, we had, we're streaming the live crazy lies that they're trying to spew out. I'm in with my studio, beaming into the main, the mothership over there, if you will. Mike's holding it down, and we've gotten call-ins. I mean, this is wonderful, man. This is awesome. So look at okay, this is what I'm going to do here.
Okay, this guy.
If you guys believe what we're telling you and you like what you see, watch. I'm going to do it with this screen. I'm going to use my hands and I'm going to be waving them around a whole bunch. And I'm really going to tell you how bad this guy is. Look at up there, Iowa. See, what are you guys doing in Iowa? You need to get your act together. They're just doing all this. This is what they're telling us. If the stars align correctly, you can count it just right. We should be able to come to a marginal 2% of total population. It's hilarious.
Let me see here.
Oh, yeah. I agree with you, Valerie. You'll be seeing that this week of 4th of July.
There we go.
There it is.
Perfect. I had to build that real quick.
Oh, nice, good little build out. Look at that nice, beautiful flag. Same kind of one flown in the background of you in the mother's studio there.
That should be me. It was, that one.
No, it's pretty awesome, man. The fact that we're almost going 2 hours in this thing. This is sweet, man.
Yeah, no, it's just, there we go. So, perfect.
Dissolve the dead. I love that. I like
some
that.
Beavis and Buttheads. Let me save this little setting while we're in here. Save. And we'll call this Two-Man Social.
Two-Man V Social. Yeah, they are a joke, man. Grandpa C, I agree with you. Jack Rooney. Don't buy the lie. I agree with you. Oh, Booger is a liar. Oh, Linda Green, you're hilarious. Booger from the Nerds. That's who he looked like.
Booger from what guy looked like that?
Oh, who was he saying? One of them up there.
That's Dudley Dawson.
Is that who it was? Okay.
Oh, the guy
that's
Booger,
funny.
Dudley Dawson. I knew it was
Dawson. Who was this guy?
Revenge of the Nerd. Revenge of the Nerd. Nerd. There you go. Dudley Dawson, Booger, who farted.
A little tribute to Booger. I didn't know he's going for presidency now.
Booger for president. Ooh. As the basketball comes flying in, that's where.
But boom! That's the see how. Bam! That's right before it comes and they cut it.
Gets them all. That's funny. All right,
That's funny. All I heard of the debate was the sound of marbles hitting the stage floor. They might have lost a few. True. That's true.
Whoops. Yeesh.
Only 65% unknown contaminants. Yeah. Bayer. The same people who are giving us stuff are also growing our corn. So think about that.
Consider the vastness of space. Claims to be vegan. Swallows cum. Jeez. I need a license to fish.
That's a booyah. Booyah.
But not to vote. We the people will soon wake. The wall of justice.
Look at
is
that.
coming.
You know what you see right here?
Indians. Left field. Way left
Way
field.
out in left field. Oh, is this Joe Fasuco?
Joe Fasuco. What's up, Mike?
Oh, I see there. Oh, seven boxes there.
There's Joe Furo.
Oh, keep on. I know. I'm getting hungry as well, Miss Melanie Graham.
Melanie Graham was hungry. All right, we'll shut her down. We will shut her down. We won't leave on that last Elizabeth. We'll I'll flip that one.
Get that fake squall out of there.
Oh. There you go. Orville Dam. Would the Dems put over 100,000 lives, 100,000 lives in danger to declassify the narrative? You're damn right they would.
Damn right. Now, where do you get the damn bait around here?
Where do you get the damn bait around here? Let's just say, seriously, can someone tell me the one thing Democrats have done to help the citizens of America since they took control of the House?
Nothing but stopgaps and slowing it.
White people be like, gotta help the minorities. And we are a minority. Are the drug lords, cartels, and coyotes really running Mexico? Who will soon find out?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they just got off the bus, so they'll come up from there. Oh, yeah. They've been functioning like that in Latin America for years. What was it? We just saw a big old huge thing a few years back in Tijuana. All the cartel killing all the representatives and state members and judges out there. It's been brainwashed.
I think that's up at top at old, what's it called? That little hidden room. Old Mount Rushmore.
Nice.
Yeah, it's at the top of Mount Rushmore. I
that's
think it's a little entrance to the heads. Somebody said they could
no,
be
that's
carving in old.
That's Petra. That's the.
Is it?
Petra. That's a Petra temple. Yep.
Okay.
It's a temple, and it's a Petran temple. It was actually the whole. No, like I believe it was somewhere in either Egypt or somewhere out there. Where is the Petra temple?
Destroy the Fed. We must. Because F you. That's why. Sorry about that. That's like YouTube. Because fuck you. That's why. Sorry about that. Like when they ban your video. That's basically what they do.
Sorry.
In Soviet YouTube, we terminate free speech. Sorry about that. Soviet freaking YouTube. That's hilarious. In Soviet YouTube, we kill the messengers. Sorry about that.
Sorry.
In Soviet YouTube, we disappear you. Sorry about that.
Sorry about that.
In Soviet YouTube, no one can hear you. Sorry about that. In Soviet YouTube, we dictate the message. Sorry about that. That's hilarious. In Soviet YouTube, all your voices belong to us. Sorry about that. But the magic belongs to me.
Magic.
Trust me. Dumb fucks. Mark Zuckerberg. Facebook.
Yeah.
All right, folks, we got through them all. That was 800. It took a couple days, but we got through them. Amy the Mod, Hannah S., The Dumb Warrior.
Yeah.
Paul Berkowitz. Or something. Berkowitz. Paul Berkowitz. I'm sorry, it's not.
Do that out of the police. There you go. Oh, yeah.
All right.
Sandy Clinge. Paul Mites, you guys are awesome, man. Oh, wow. What a crazy ride.
Love. Yeah. You guys bought the
You guys tomorrow for sure for round 2 on the poop eaters. Oh, I mean, are they talking or eating it?
All right, you guys. Make sure you never give up any of your freedoms. And here we are from the Patriot Hour saying God bless, Godspeed each and every one of you. Good night. Yes. See you tomorrow. Some videos and the live feed tomorrow again at 9 p.m. We'll kick it off. And we'll listen to what they got to say for a little bit until our heads hurt.
As long as we can until it hurts.
All right.
God bless y'all.
See you guys here back real soon. Have a great evening.
Of his conscience, the courier of his news, that we look for strength and assistance. Without debate, without criticism, no administration and no country can succeed, and no republic can survive.